I worked 4 brutal years, night classes, double shifts, no sleep, just to walk across my college graduation stage completely alone, while my own parents threw a Super Bowl party and forgot I existed. Then 2 hours later, they asked me for money. What they did next was 1,000 times worse. Stay till the end, because this is the moment I finally cut them out of my life forever. My name is Emily Harper, and the morning of my graduation began with the kind of hope I should have known better than to carry. I woke up at 5:17 a.m., 17 minutes before my alarm was set to go off, nerves already crackling under my skin like live wires. The cheap black polyester gown hung from the closet door like some kind of sacred relic. A trophy I had earned one brutal semester, one double shift, one skipped meal at a time, 4 years of starting at community college, transferring to state university, taking night classes that ended at 11 p.m., then opening the coffee shop at 5 a.m., every single extra dollar I could scrape together, wired straight home so my parents wouldn't lose the house, and my younger brother Logan could keep playing travel hockey, buying new $300 sticks every season, and going on the optional team trips to Florida that somehow were never optional. I told myself today would make every sacrifice feel worth it. I brewed coffee in the dark, letting the steam warm my face, and let myself imagine just for a few dangerous minutes that maybe today they would finally show up for me. I didn't need banners or flowers or a fancy dinner afterward. I just wanted my mom's soft, proud smile from the audience, my dad lifting one hand in that awkward half wave he saved for big moments, and Logan pretending to be bored but secretly taking pictures on his phone. Normal family things, the kind of things I had watched other people get while I sat in the back row of every important event in my life, smiling like it didn't hurt. The apartment was dead quiet while I got ready. I slipped into the only pair of real heels I owned, black, scuffed at the toes, bought secondhand for job interviews and funerals, and checked my phone every 30 seconds like a teenager waiting for a crush to text back. Nothing about the ceremony. Instead, the family group chat was absolutely on fire with Super Bowl plans. Mom had posted a photo of her famous 7-layer dip arranged in perfect rings, the caption full of heart eye and football emojis. Dad sent a gif of Tom Brady crying with the caption, "Me if the Pats blow it again this year." Logan bragged about the $600 in prop bets he'd already locked in and how he was about to print money. Not one single text that said "Good luck today, Em," or "What time should we leave?" or even "Make sure the tassel is on the right side." I told myself they were just handling their nerves badly, that they'd slide into the 10,000-seat auditorium late, wave apologetically from the aisle, and everything would finally feel okay. I clung to that lie like a lifeline all the way to campus. They never came. The auditorium smelled like grocery store roses, cheap perfume, and too much hairspray. Families poured in wearing team jerseys mixed with Sunday best, kids darting between legs, grandparents holding handmade signs that said "Class of 2024," and "We love you." The ushers had taped 3 crisp white reserved signs on the front row seats, Harper. Seeing my last name there in bold black letters made my throat close up with something that felt dangerously close to actual belief. I took my seat near the aisle, smoothed the shiny polyester over my knees, and stared at those 3 empty chairs while the dean droned through the welcome speech and the university president talked about the journey that brought us here today. My phone buzzed silently in my lap. I glanced down, expecting maybe, finally, a text from Mom. Instead, it was another photo from home. The brand new 75-inch TV blaring pre-game hype, Dad's hand holding up a Bud Light in premature victory. Logan and 4 of his buddies piled on the sectional, mouths open mid-cheer, chips scattered everywhere. Time stamped 11:42 a.m. The ceremony had started at 11:30. They weren't stuck in traffic. They weren't circling for parking. They weren't even pretending anymore. When the dean finally called Emily Rose Harper, the applause was polite, scattered, and lonely. I walked across that stage completely by myself, shook his hand, smiled the required smile for the photographer, and felt those 3 empty seats burn holes straight through my chest like acid. The camera flash went off, and I looked out over a sea of strangers cheering for people they loved and 3 gaping black voids wearing my last name. I held it together long enough to get my diploma folder, long enough to make it out of the auditorium, long enough to reach the back row of the parking lot where the wind whipped between the cars and cut straight through the thin polyester like it had something personal against me. Halfway to my 12-year-old Civic, my legs simply quit working. I sank down onto the frozen concrete curb, diploma sliding from my numb fingers onto the oily ground. The tears came quiet and furious, the kind that don't make any noise but feel like they're carving you hollow from the inside out. My beautiful rented gown soaked up the cold, the dirt, and every unspoken apology I had ever swallowed. My phone lit up again, Mom grinning beside a towering tray of hot wings, Dad photobombing with a goofy face in the background. Still no congratulations. Still no "we're so sorry we missed it." Just silence louder than any scream I could have let out right there in public. That was when Aunt Claire's text slid across the screen like a lifeline thrown into a riptide. Watched the whole ceremony on the university live stream from my office in Chicago. "You looked absolutely stunning up there, sweetheart. I have never been prouder of anyone in my life. Call me when you're ready." One single person on the entire planet had shown up for me, even if it was through a screen and 2,000 miles away. I don't know how long I sat on that curb. Long enough for the crowds to thin out to nothing. Long enough for the February wind to numb my face and hands. Long enough for the hurt to shift from hot tears into something colder, sharper, and useful. I opened the travel app I had bookmarked during too many 3 a.m. breakdowns when the guilt felt bigger than my ribcage. Sedona, Arizona. 5-day intensive women's healing retreat. I had saved under the pathetic folder name "Someday When I'm Not Needed." One-way ticket, leaving tomorrow morning at 6:05 a.m. My thumb hovered over the big blue confirm button while every old voice in my head screamed that I was selfish, ungrateful, cruel, and dramatic, that families stick together no matter what. I pressed it anyway. The confirmation email pinged like the starting gun of a race I didn't know I had been waiting my whole life to run. For the first time in my 26 years, I chose me. Sedona was red rock and pine-scented silence and air so clean it almost hurt to breathe. The retreat smelled like burning sage, cedar logs, and something that might have been actual hope. The woman at the front desk greeted me like I belonged there, like I wasn't some broken thing that had limped in off the street. "Welcome home, Emily," she said, and I burst into tears right there at check-in. My private casita had a little patio that looked out over a canyon painted every shade of fire by the setting sun. I slept 14 hours straight, woke up, cried some more, slept again, and started to remember what it felt like to breathe without someone else's hand around my throat. I kept telling myself it was temporary, just 1 week to reset before I flew back to Hartford and slipped right back into the role I had played since I was 16. The good daughter, the responsible one, the family ATM. Then Monday morning, I finally turned my phone off airplane mode. 47 missed messages, 44 from family. "Mom, hey sweetie. Dad's transmission blew again. Can you Venmo $1,100 so we're not stranded? Love you, Logan. Yo, my card got declined at the bar last night. I need $400 ASAP. I'll pay you Friday, I swear. Dad, don't ignore your mother, Emily. Family helps family. Always has, always will. Not one single congratulations." The very last text was from Claire in all caps. "Emily Rose Harper, pull your credit report right this second and call me." I did, sitting cross-legged on the cool adobe floor while sunrise painted the canyon gold. My stomach dropped through the earth and kept falling. 17 new accounts, 13 credit cards, a $31,000 auto loan for a 2022 Ford F-150 I had never even sat in, store cards at Best Buy, Dick's Sporting Goods, Home Depot, and even a freaking Kay Jewelers account. Hard inquiries stacked one after another like bullets in a magazine. Every single date lined up perfectly with the emergencies they had cried wolf about for the past 2 years. The new furnace, Logan's hockey tournament fees, Dad's medical bills, Mom's dental emergency, and the roof repair that somehow never got done. They hadn't just skipped my graduation, they had literally sold pieces of my future to finance their never-ending present. One fraudulent application at a time. I didn't scream, I didn't throw the phone across the room. I got very, very calm, the kind of calm that comes right before a hurricane tears the roof off a house. I called Claire back. She answered on the first ring. I was hoping I was just being paranoid, she said quietly. You need a shark, honey. I've got the best one in the Northeast. Victoria Lang met me at Bradley International when I flew home 2 days early with a carry-on and a heart made of forged steel. I handed her a 3-inch binder stuffed with bank records, text message screenshots, Venmo histories, and printed credit reports. She flipped through it once, looked up at me, and smiled the kind of smile great whites get right before they bite. We're not playing defense here, Emily, she said. We're going to end this. I walked into my apartment carrying a lawyer instead of groceries. The second the deadbolt clicked behind me, the pounding started. Emily Rose Harper, open this goddamn door right now. Dad's fist made the whole frame vibrate like it might splinter. Mom's practiced sobbing leaked through the wood. Baby, please, we just want to talk. You're breaking your mother's heart. Logan already filming on his phone for future evidence. This is next level insane, Em. Wait till everyone sees how you treat your own family. My landlord called 30 seconds later. Your parents are trying to convince me it's a domestic issue and I should let them in with the master key. Want me to call the police? Yes, I said, and my voice didn't even shake. Please do. Dad heard me through the door. You're calling the cops on your own father? After everything we've done for you? You ungrateful little... The officers arrived in under 6 minutes, removed them with trespass warnings while half the building filmed on their phones, and Dad screamed the whole way to the elevator that I would be sorry, that I would come crawling back when I needed them. I locked the door, leaned against it, and smiled for the first time in years. Victoria moved like lightning on rocket fuel. Temporary restraining order granted within 48 hours. Full credit freeze on all 3 credit bureaus plus fraud alerts done. Criminal complaints for identity theft, wire fraud, mail fraud, forgery, and aggravated theft were filed in Connecticut and Arizona because some of the applications had been submitted from my parents' IP address while I was at the retreat. Then the email I had almost forgotten about landed in my inbox like a gift from the universe I didn't know was listening. Senior Financial Analyst promotion, Seattle headquarters, full relocation package, 42% raise, and a signing bonus big enough to pay Victoria's retainer twice over. I accepted before the sun went down that same day. I packed 1 suitcase, my framed diploma, and the tiny succulent my coworker Jenna swore I could keep alive. The movers took care of everything else. When the plane lifted off the runway, I watched Hartford shrink beneath the clouds until it disappeared completely and whispered into the window, "Goodbye forever." Seattle was rain and coffee and evergreens and people who had no clue I used to apologize for taking up oxygen. I destroyed my new role. Promotions came fast, real friendships came faster. For the first time in my life, every dollar I earned stayed in my own account and grew roots. 9 months later, I was invited to keynote the largest financial empowerment conference on the West Coast. 5,000 attendees, sold out, live streamed to another 20,000. My topic, when the people who should protect your money are the ones stealing it. I was backstage running through my slides, heart pounding in the best way, when the double doors at the rear of the ballroom slammed open so hard they bounced off the walls. "That's our daughter." Dad's voice boomed over the murmur of 4,800 people trying to find their seats. "She abandoned her family, left us homeless while she plays big city hotshot." Mom launched into full Oscar-level hysterics, clutching her chest like she was having a heart attack. Logan held his phone high, live streaming my public execution for the world to see. Old Emily would have shrunk into the carpet and died right there. New Emily stepped straight up to the microphone and let 10 years of rage settle into a voice that didn't shake once. "Security, these 3 individuals in the back are in direct violation of a permanent restraining order. Please remove them immediately." The room went dead silent. You could have heard a phone drop. Dad's face turned the color of an overripe tomato. "You can't do this to your own blood." Before security even took 3 steps, 4 plainclothes detectives stepped into the aisle, badges flashing. Richard Harper, Logan Harper, you are under arrest for identity theft in the first degree, wire fraud, mail fraud, forgery, and aggravated theft over $100,000. Mom lunged toward the stage, mascara running in black rivers down her cheeks. Emily, stop this right now. Think of your mother. I looked her dead in the eyes, voice crystal clear and amplified for every soul in that building and everyone watching online. You needed my credit score, I needed parents, we are done forever. The audience actually gasped as handcuffs clicked shut. Dad roared threats about lawsuits and blood is thicker than water. Logan cursed me out while his phone still recorded. Mom collapsed into an officer's arms like a bad telenovela actress. They were dragged out kicking and screaming while 5,000 people watched in stunned, electric silence. I took one slow, cleansing breath, smiled the first completely unafraid smile of my entire life, and leaned back into the mic. Well, slight change of plans, everyone. Forget the PowerPoint. Let me tell you what actually happens when the people who taught you to walk teach you to run for your life instead. I told them every ugly, painful, triumphant detail. The empty seats, the stolen future, the frozen curb where I finally chose me. The day I stopped being their daughter and started being my own hero. When I finished, the room didn't just applaud. They rose as one. Some people sobbed openly. Dozens waited in line for over an hour afterward just to hug me and whisper, "I'm leaving tonight because of you. Thank you for giving me permission." The case wrapped in record time. Full restitution ordered. Felony convictions that will follow them for the rest of their lives. Permanent no-contact order sealed by a judge who looked my father in the eye and said, "Sir, family is not a free pass to commit crime." Today I own Harper Rising Financial Coaching. My waiting list is 10 months long and growing every single day. My diploma hangs in the lobby beside a framed photo from that Seattle stage, mid-standing ovation, and a simple brushed brass plaque that reads, "She walked across the stage alone so none of us ever have to again." Some nights the old guilt still whispers, but it's faint now, like a radio left on in another house on another street in a city I no longer live in. Because every single day women and men walk through my door carrying the same invisible chains I used to wear like skin, and I get to hand them the exact map I drew with my own blood, tears, and hard-won triumph. If you're still wiring money to people who wouldn't cross the street to watch you succeed, listen to me clearly. You are not their retirement plan. You are not their emergency fund. You are not their do-over or their second chance. You are the whole damn jackpot. Bet everything on yourself. I did, and I have never been richer, freer, or more surrounded by love I never had to beg for, buy, or apologize for. So cut the cord, save your own life. I'm already waiting on the other side with open arms and a standing ovation when you finally land. Like if this hit you right in the chest. Comment the moment you knew it was over for good. Subscribe because the best revenge is a life so bright and beautiful they can never touch it again.